Another edition of the Blue Cavalry, the Dallas Mavericks basketball podcast. I am Andres Reyes, and I'm joined by my co-host, Daniel Reyes. The Mavericks are 5-3, third in the Western Conference, and I feel like crap. But Danny, how are you?
I also feel like crap. You know what? I'm gonna tell you a nice little story here. I went to my first game versus the Heat. I was having a great time. I'm checking if my mic's recording.
So did I just.
It's always a fear of mine. I'm just like, am I even speaking?
Yeah, like.
But so I'll go to the game. You know, it was my first game of the season, the Heat game. Go with my dad. Go with my brother. It's always a fun time. We sit in our seats. I have my alcoholic beverage with me. I'm already all full from the tacos I ate earlier.
Nice.
And tell me why I'm just laughing at what the Mavs have put on the floor.
It's a valid reaction.
Literally, me and my brother, every possession, Dwight Powell was on the floor or something. Like, the defense is just terrible. I mean, Dwight Powell's getting thrown around. Freaking Bam Adebayo is just dominating. I'm just me and my brother just laughing the whole time. Why is that? Why is it? Is it just a reaction from every MFFL now that we just laugh and take it as it comes?
I think we at some point just have to hide the pain, and the only thing we can do is just laugh. But I wholeheartedly agree with you. I went to the Spurs game with my dad, and the first few minutes when they went down, like 25-3, I was about to apologize to my dad, and I was gonna tell him if he wanted to leave, it was cool.
he said hell yeah. He said hell yeah. I'm trying to leave. Like, damn.
No, but this whole season has been strange, and you could even encapsulate it into the games. Just I felt like sometimes during the Heat, the Mavs looked good, and they would get on these little hot streaks, and I think they built like a forgive me if I'm wrong, it was like a 10 to 15 point lead, but and then it all just comes tumbling downhill. Same thing with the Spurs. They went down by 20, and then they come back and win. Just this whole season just feels really strange, and they've beaten teams that, these games. I don't really have confidence in the Mavericks with them beating the teams they have beaten. Like, for example, they've beaten the Raptors, the Rockets, the Spurs 2 times, and the Kings. And these haven't been, dominating victories. We've barely scraped by. I felt like each one of those games was very iffy, and even the Houston one, won by 10, but still, just it took I feel like it took a breakout from Moses Brown to kind of get the Mavericks going in that one. So, and then what's even more discouraging, the losses are horrible. The 30-point loss to the Nuggets, the horrible season opener to the Hawks, the Heat, double-digit loss after they were up double digits. So yeah, it's to your point, the laughing. I told you in a text about Dwight Powell. I don't know if I can make it anymore. I don't know if I can keep supporting Dwight Powell and Willie Cauley-Stein, and I'm just so sorry. And then when I told you that the next game versus San Antonio, the last one they played, they won 109-108. He had a key offensive rebound, and then he kicked it out to Jalen Brunson, and Jalen Brunson did more magic and closed out the game. But I don't know. It's just I wanted to make a point about the bigs. Dwight Powell and Willie Cauley-Stein, quote unquote, are bigs, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the game you went to versus the Heat, Luka was the best defender against Bam Adebayo, and
Oh,
that's really saying something. When Luka puts up more of a fight against Bam Adebayo than Willie Cauley-Stein and Dwight Powell do, they just get moved around like just like saloon doors, and it's embarrassing. The only value the bigs on the Mavericks bring are pick and roll situations, and that's it. But
is it really though? Is it really? Last night against the freaking Spurs, Luca threw Willie Cauley Stein a perfect. I'm telling you, perfect alley oop. He could not finish. He got blocked, which is fine. I mean, just dunk it. What's so me and you have complained so much about Dwight Powell and Willie Cauley Stein. Just dunk the ball. Like please,
and
like why can't you finish strong? But it's because these guys aren't bigs, man. Like when
not
can
too big, yeah.
there when can the front office see that these guys Dwight Powell's not even a center. He's not a center. And the things that he's supposed to do as a center, he doesn't do.
Yeah.
He doesn't bruise the floor. He doesn't protect the rim. All he really does is have that energetic offensive rebound here and there. He has no offense. Without Luka, he has no offense. He can't do anything.
KP has the same issue too. And, not to mention we've been off for a week, but KP's missed the last 5 games
Oh,
um,
yep.
with lower back tightness. But he has that issue too, where he's around the rim and he's so freaking huge and he just misses a layup. And I believe he had one horrible one in the first 3 games. I'm forgetting where it was, but he had a wide open layup and he could have dunked it, like you're saying, just dunk the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You're huge. And I think he airballed the layup. And it's just, I don't know. I'm starting to think it's just culture, unfortunately, because this has been a problem for years where it's just, they're not tough. They're just, and I think it was most clear to me. It should have been all these years, but the Denver game when I saw Willie Cauley Stein in the post, Will Barton, who I'm sure is shorter than 6'4". I don't know how tall he is, but Will Barton pushes Willie Cauley Stein out of the way. Like he doesn't even have to force any effort. He just kind of nudges Willie Cauley Stein out of the way and takes a layup and gets it. Aaron Gordon was pushing around Dorian Finney-Smith and Dwight Powell in that game, getting boards. Just little stuff like that where I'm just starting to kind of more notice it. Where I'm honestly, you know what? I'm looking for it. I'm gonna be honest. Um, every time they're out there, I'm just kind of watching them more and more, just seeing these little spots where I'm like, dude, you could have been tougher there. You could have put a little bit more effort there. But I don't know. It's really the whole roster construction. Um, how much longer are we going to go with just saying, well, we have Luka and that's it? I think it's time, and we've been calling for this for a while. Maybe not as adamantly as right now, but it's just I think it's time for a change. They need to get some more talent, and it's not fair to Luka Doncic to just pile it all on him and just say, well, carry us to a championship. It's really not fair.
It's 100%. You nailed it right on the head. As I was watching the game, enjoying my popcorn, being a fatty up in the nosebleeds, I was somehow feeling exhausted because of
Nice.
of what Luka Doncic was doing on the floor. I'm just like this guy's playing his. I mean, he's playing his heart out on offense and defense. Like he's
Yes, and defense. Yeah.
and I mean he's becoming a leader by example. But this is just not fair. I'm just seeing him sweaty, hands on his knees, second quarter, barely. I'm just like he needs help, man. He needs help, and and it's exhausting even watching him as I'm being a fatty. So, so you nailed it in the head. And some say the league is the in the NBA the center position is dead, but it's virtually non-existent for the Mavericks. It's in the grave for years and years, like you said. The last freaking good center we've had here is Tyson Chandler, and before that, this was non-existent then. So, um, this is.
That's some shade to James Donaldson.
What about Eric Dampier? What about Eric Dampier? Huh? He was my favorite, but
Sagana Jop.
but yeah, man. They need a center so bad. And I mean, watching that San Antonio game last night, Boban, I mean, his presence. I mean, look, honestly, like I'm just looking at center play as like who can grab a rebound, who can push people around, and Boban is the best person to do that. But obviously, he's a lackluster defender. We can't put him out there all the time, but he's the only one really. I'm just like what he did last night against the Spurs was we do get those Boban games here and there, but he's really the only one that could provide any offense and defense as far as the center in the Mavericks right now, and that's really sad.
Yeah, three things as you were talking. I thought of three things. I'm writing them down now so I don't forget.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The the fact that Boban can come in, I thought he was very crucial to the Mavericks in this victory
Mm-hmm.
versus the Spurs. And that kind of also leads back to the strangeness of this season. I feel like J Kidd's lineups are so random. Like,
They are.
sometimes we're gonna get Nilikina, sometimes we're gonna get Boban, sometimes we're gonna get Josh Green.
Mm-hmm.
It's so strange. I understand you're trying to find something while KP is out, but I feel like there's no rhythm, honestly. And I know Maxi was out too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that reminds me of another thing. One of the all-time Maxi performances in the game I went to. I don't know if it was just because it was live, but the first game versus San Antonio, my God, was Maxi brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
He was just playing defense, getting rebounds everywhere. Um, Brilliant play by Maxi. But yeah, just really weird. Substitutional patterns and just appearances here and there. Moses Brown, I mentioned, versus the Rockets. I don't know. It's just to me, I feel like the team has to be in rhythm and they have to kind of know, well, you know what, we're gonna get these set minutes, and obviously it depends on game flow, but I understand if you're playing like crap,
Mm-hmm.
obviously you need to try something else.
Yeah.
And it was really strange. I think that's what lifted them versus the Houston Rockets. But I don't know. It's just we've seen pretty much the whole the whole team been utilized, and I don't know. It's just really really not in rhythm for the Mavericks.
Yeah, and it's really shown offensively that they're not in tune together, and the chemistry is not there. Offensively as well. Well, I mean, just like you get, there's no consistency, like you said. I feel like nobody knows their role right now on the Jason Kidd regime.
Hmm.
This, I mean, besides like obviously Luca, JB, Hardaway, and KP, nobody else knows their role on this team. But you're right. There's no cohesiveness on offense either. There's been an emphasis to get Luca off ball more, and
Yeah.
that has not worked. I think, in my opinion, um, especially the first three games or so when Dorian Finney-Smith was getting a lot of post-ups and stuff like that. That's not worked. The only reason I would want Luca not to have the ball in his hands if JB is on the floor, and
Hmm.
obviously JB can play every freaking minute, but just no cohesiveness, and we never know what we're gonna get. That's like the worst thing, and that's been happening for the past 3 years. We never know what we're gonna get from Dorian, Kleba.
Yeah.
I mean, even Brown, the new free agent we got, Sterling Brown. We don't even know what we're gonna get. Uh, it's just no cohesiveness, and that's not something good. Um, to You need to establish that, I think, as soon as you get into the season, and I don't think that's been established quite yet.
You mentioned before Luca's effort. I think in our first podcast of the season, um, I wanted to go into just even in the first two games, I just feel like Luca looks different. He just kind of, I know he's putting in the effort, but I don't
Hmm.
know what it is. It just looks like he doesn't care anymore. And I'm trying, I'm starting to think it's just because this is a crappy situation for somebody who wants to win a championship and who wants to be known, as a competitor, champion, a winner. This is a crappy situation for him because most likely he's getting bounced in the first round, and
Yep.
that shouldn't be the case for a top five player in the NBA. Someone who can push to be the best player in the NBA. But I think that's just what it is. He's just tired of the crap and he's tired of having to do everything by himself. And um, this season, he's attempting 5.3 free throws a game. Last season, it was 7.1. The season prior was 9.2. So there's a steady decline in his usage in terms of him driving to the basket, which I think opens up the floor for everyone else too. When he drives to the basket, he draws so much attention. That's diminishing the amount of looks that other players are going to get. And of course, creating assists for Doncic, which also boosts his confidence. And yeah, I know he enjoys getting those triple doubles, but I think that's what it is. I think that's just he's just tired of it, and it gets old. I think before this would fly. I think if it was Dirk, he wouldn't mind
Hmm.
looking at the same people for 15, 20 years. But this is a new era where uh, you know, we get impatient, right? It's true. We switch jobs. It's reported that younger people are switching jobs, more often. So imagine being on at a job where it's just everything's the same or something's not working, but everything stays the same.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know, just some thoughts there on Luka Doncic's effort and his look and the just the way it feels right now for Mavs fans and but especially for me. I don't know about Mavs fans, but
I mean, I feel like we don't speak for all Mavs fans, but I feel like what we're feeling is just a general consensus of from the fans, and not even from the front office. I don't see what what they think we think, but like we're done. As I was laughing in the
yeah,
nosebleeds about what was happening on the floor, but I mean, I don't know if his competitive nature will make him not care, because I really don't believe that. But there is that body language where as you're saying, it does feel like he's not caring as much. Especially some of the shots he's been throwing up too. Those 3 pointers, those airball 3 pointers, versus San
yeah,
Antonio, those were kind of like what coming out of nowhere. I'm just like, why why throw him up? I feel like I don't know. I just like, why throw those up for? And you could get something better in the inside, but um, I see it. I see the body language too, and what's going on with Ben Simmons and all these other players where they just refuse to play,
yeah.
and that's like another thing. How your point is people are impatient and they wanna, when they're not happy in a situation, they just want to leave, and that's how it's going in the NBA right now. So I mean, Luca's not like that. Let's hope, but I see it. I agree with you.
Yeah, that's just that's my nightmare scenario. If he just one day wakes up and says I want to trade,
Yeah.
and the Mavericks would have no choice, honestly. and it would be all our fault. It would be, we sat on this superstar. It's things are changing, and it we're not in an era anymore where you can wait 10 years to build a contender. And that's the way it used to be. I know, we waited, how long for Dirk to be a true contender in the West, and he was fine with it. And that's awesome. I love Dirk, and he meant so much to my fandom and to the city of Dallas, really.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the same anymore. We can't wait around and build a contender over years. No, it has to be done, within 2 years now, because then, 2 years into a contract, players can start requesting trades, they can start feeling impatient. They can start feeling unhappy. And honestly, truthfully, I feel like it could be sooner than 2 years where a player could start feeling that type of way. But yeah, that to me is nightmare scenario where that would happen. But I've been saying for the past 2 years, since Luca's second year, you have to go all in. It's time. It's time now. There's no more waiting. I know he signed the max. I know we have him for 5 more years, whatever it is, 4 more years. It it's time now. There's no way that you keep him if we keep putting out this same dumb roster that isn't gonna get us anywhere. It's time already. Just go all have a top five player. There's no more waiting. There's no more developing. He's ready now. Like just go all in. Just do it. Right. I know we have no draft picks, but I don't know. I'm just feeling angry now.
I know, dude. I know. I was talking to one of my coworkers today, and we were just talking about the Mavs and stuff, and he knows we record this podcast, and he listens and stuff, but he just like every time we record, I just feel like I'm bitching the whole time, and I feel like it's just getting old, um, and it's hard with this team to put out. I mean, content. I mean, this is content that we do because we say the same stuff over and over again, but that's because nothing has changed. it's
Yeah.
just it's just frustrating, and especially I don't know how others people feel when they're making podcasts and stuff like that. It's just even more frustrating because nothing changes. But yeah, and oh, he
Yeah.
also said if they somehow screw this up with Luca, he's done with the team, and I don't know if I'm there. I'll be on the
Oh,
cliff of being done with the team as well.
you
Cause no,
or your friend?
well, my coworker said that he's like,
Oh,
if they leave, if they somehow screw this up with Luca, he's just done being a Mavs fan,
yeah, I
and
get it.
I get
See,
it. Yeah.
that goes to my point as well. We're gonna switch teams as well. The younger generations,
Oh yeah.
we're impatient as well, and we're gonna switch teams. I don't think I could switch teams.
No, yeah. We've been through a lot.
I just don't see myself rooting for any other team,
Yeah.
even if I'm incredibly upset with the Mavericks organization. I don't know, but man, some thoughts that I was having about, again, Willie Cauley-Stein and Dwight Powell. What if we just did a small ball lineup? Why are we keeping bigs around that we know aren't going to rebound, that we know aren't going to play defense, that
Mhm.
aren't tough, that are setting a pretty bad example for the rest of the team? I think, to your point, a big should be an enforcer and set the tone, right?
Mhm.
Hey, you pick on my guy, I'm coming after you. Or you come in this lane and you're gonna get bruised up a little bit. So they're not doing that. So I feel, why do we keep just trotting out big lineups? Why not just go small? And this is while KP's out. I think while KP's healthy, you have to play him. You have no choice. He makes $1 billion a year. Uh, but why not try Jalen Brunson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Luka Doncic, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Maxi Kleba? Um, something I thought of. Why do we keep just trying? Why do we keep doing the same thing? You know, make others play to you. If somehow you can make, like in the Denver game, if somehow you make Nikola Jokic come out and try to guard a 3-point shooter, does that, flip things? I don't think it makes you win the game, but does it make it more competitive?
It's a different game
Um,
plan, yeah.
I don't know. Just throw something at the wall at this point. I'm tired. I'm tired of this just pick and roll and then no defense, and I don't know, just getting bullied every single possession. Just try something new where you make other teams play to your style.
Uh, that's some that's interesting. I mean, I feel like most NBA teams would rather go small ball. Um,
Yeah,
Especially with the Denver matchup and the Heat matchup. I think that would have really thrown both of those teams out of the rhythm because of what Bam Adebayo can do to you.
yeah.
And hell, even freaking Deadman was going off on us. So I mean, that could really throw a lot of teams for a loop. And why not have more 3-point shooting? This is where the team thrives, is 3-point shooting. And if you go small, I mean, you could put Reggie Bullock out there as well. I mean, just something that would get the offense going. And I think Dwight Powell and Willie Cauley-Stein really hold back the reins of what the offense can be. Obviously when KP's not out there, but I just feel like that kind of screws everything up. I'd rather want more ball movement, more open threes, mid range, and drives to the basket. And this is just something they can't provide. And I, I'm I'm all for Reggie Bullock starting. I was gonna tell you, watching the freaking San Antonio game and watching this past week, does what Dorian do on defense really affect the team in a way? Because I don't know how to explain it. Does what he did, is it worth what he does on defense for what he does on offense? You know what I mean? He's kind of
Yeah.
struggling, and he has been struggling this whole season from the 3-point range. But is his defense worth it? Would you rather want someone like Reggie Bullock, where you know the surefire open three, he's gonna make it? What would you think that would
I
help?
get, yeah, I get your point. I don't think he's the defender we thought he was going to be.
Yeah,
Um, you know, Coming up, I think, and even I kind of am at fault for this. Um, I sort of got into the notion that he was a lockdown defender. And
no.
last season, last
Even
season
this
it
game,
became,
even the San Antonio game,
yeah.
freaking uh, Murray was going past him. Everyone was going past him. No, he was doing nothing, and he was missing his threes.
No, no, sorry, last season it became very clear that he's not.
Yeah.
Uh, at least to me, and it probably should have became very clear sooner.
Mm-hmm.
But we get into these, I guess, like, what is the word for it?
Recency bias.
Kind of, but like ideologies, or I know there's a word for it, but it's like everybody thinks one thing, so you start believing it too.
Yeah.
And like if everyone says, and it may be true, but like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think they're gonna sub out Dorian Finney-Smith just because, and I do like this part of his game, his sometimes, and it's sometimes, which kind of frustrates me as well. It's every other game, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe even less than that. But there's times where he is a monster on the boards. And I'm forgetting which game it was where he just took over, where he was hustling. He was getting offensive rebounds, putbacks. I'm forgetting which game it was, but yeah, there's just that's the value that he brings is my notion. And I really wouldn't want to lose that. But if it gets our 3-point shots up, if it gets our 3-point percentages better,
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for it. I'm up to changing anything. And I think as fans, It's hard to let go of Dorian Finney-Smith, or even Maxi Kleba. You know,
Yeah.
it would be very tough for fans to accept that, you know, they suck. um,
I'm not saying he
but
sucks. I'm not saying he sucks.
right, right. Not he's not a starter on a championship team,
No, no, he's
right?
not. At best,
So
he's a good role player in the championship team.
exactly. So at best, he's like a seventh man
Yeah.
on a championship team,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. Like that's perfect. That's a great NBA player. But right now, he's being treated as the fourth best man, on the team, and it could be where that's just our only option. That could be the case as well. But I mean, yeah, I could see. I would want to do that change. I'm with you, but I just don't see the Mavericks doing it. I don't see Coach Kidd just taking him aside and just saying, you're benched.
But to be honest, this is the perfect chance for the Mavs to do it, though. You got a
Yeah,
new regime, you got a new GM, new coach. New coach is gonna make changes, and one of those changes to be Dorian Finney-Smith is going to the bench. Uh, and that's it. Like, he's a new coach, and that's it. Like, even if there's gonna be backlash from the fans and stuff like that, he brought him in for a reason, and that's to make changes for the better. And I think Reggie Bullock will be a good fit into the starting lineup. I mean, he was a starting lineup in a playoff team with the Knicks, and I just don't see the difference it would make from his defense from Bullock's defense to Dorian Finney-Smith's defense. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Um, I just would rather want the offense. I would rather want consistent three point shooting from Bullock, and that's why the Mavs got him. So
And
why
then
not?
here's another kind of myth or ideology is that Reggie Bullock is a really great 3-point shooter. And you know what? As you were talking, I felt it too. Like I wanted to believe that, but he's shooting 32%. But watching the games, it feels like he
He makes
is
more.
is really good at shooting the three ball right now.
Yeah,
Um, but I could see where if he just gets like again talking about rhythm, if he knows like he's gonna get a set amount of minutes, or even if he's promoted to a starting position, who knows what that could do for Reggie Bullock? I mean, he has a quick release and he's not afraid to shoot it, so that could do wonders for him as well.
yeah. But enough with the doom and gloom. I want to talk about our shining star that we have on the bench, and that's our boy JB, the Brunson burner baby.
Yes, sir.
the only one of the only bright spots. I think along with Frank Ntilikina, I think Frank Ntilikina is a nice little bright spot there too. But uh,
Yep.
Brunson, man, Brunson is a beast. What he's doing now is something that I don't think he's done the past 3 years. Is really shake and bake these guards and anybody switched onto him. That mid range is on point now, and that's just another form of attack that he added to his repertoire. Um, Insane. I mean, he's just like a barrel. He's a barrel on the floor. He just pushes everyone out of the way. I don't. He's really turning into a Fred VanVleet type of player, and I'm just so excited for what JB's becoming this year. So that's my really big bright spot for the Mavs this season. These couple games here.
It truly is. It's one of the bright spots, and I'm pulling up his game log here. He was 9 of 17 from the floor. He had 31 points, almost topped his career high. He had. I wanted to talk about this. He had 10 rebounds.
Mhm.
The game I went to, I know I keep referencing the game I went to, but the game versus San Antonio, I really thought, and I told my dad, Brunson has graduated. I just feel like he is at another level.
Yeah.
He really has stepped up he just looks more confident. The way he's going after rebounds is just impressive to me for being just a small guard. I mean, he puts more emphasis on rebounds than Willie Cauley-Stein, Dwight Powell, and KP put together. To be quite honest, and
Shade, shots fired.
it's the truth, man. That's what sucks. It's yes, I'm saying it as a joke, but it's on it. There's truth to every joke.
That's true.
Um, yeah, man, Brunson is just he's been playing phenomenal. He closed out this game instead of Luka Doncic. They were both on the floor, but he was the main ball handler, the main scorer down the stretch. I mean, he was making middies left and right. Just some turnaround. The and one he got, where he was just cooking on McDermott. I think he had a couple plays on McDermott. But yeah, man, Brunson has graduated. He's a different level, and I it's really strange how they're gonna maneuver this. He has to be a starter. There's no way around it. I feel like he's playing at this level where he can close out the game for you. I feel like that's just he has to start the games now. I don't know. What do you think?
I completely agree with you. I mean, we ever since he came to the Mavs, I feel like he's been a fourth quarter guy. He's always come up clutch and made big plays in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And now like he's just doing freaking crossovers, freaking spin moves. Like what he's doing now is just completely. I feel like he's way more aggressive, like way more. I mean, he was already aggressive, driving to the paint, but now like he just feels. I just feel like he's playing so confident, and Luca sees that. I mean, in that fourth quarter, I feel like it was all JB. Luca was standing in the corner. He was really off
Yep.
off the ball a lot, and a big thing is that Luca trusts him. Luca really trusts him, and they have a great relationship off the court. They're always talking on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. But I feel like every time like somebody else besides Luca has the ball and he's on the floor, he's just running around trying to get the ball back. But when JB's on the floor and he's dribbling, he's chilling. He's just waiting for him to make something. And if he's stuck, Luca's gonna go and grab the ball from him. But uh, what he's doing right now is phenomenal, and I think J Kidd. I mean, he has the point guard himself. I think he really sees that, and I think he's really gonna have a struggle with not wanting to start him. You know?
Yeah. The way he's finding people as well,
Yeah, man.
the crisp passes he's making, just the confident passes he's making. He's starting to do some no look stuff, and
Yeah.
it's getting pretty scary. How how good Jalen Brunson can get. This is, if I'm not mistaken, his fourth year.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's just very young player, and it's been a pleasure watching um, watching him grow and develop as a basketball player. So we knew that he was a confident and kind of level-headed guy. He showed the pedigree in college, and he showed the maturity his first season. His rookie year, he got the 34 points against San Antonio. Now he gets 31 against San Antonio again, which is sweet. I hate San Antonio, uh,
Hell yeah.
so that's pretty cool. But no, yeah, it's just I don't see how you don't start him. And what I would really like is to bench Dwight Powell. So, just go really small ball. And Jalen Brunson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Luka Doncic, that would be quite the tandem. And then just, put any other two wingmen out there as well.
That would be beautiful, and that would just completely change. I think it would just completely change everything from what the offense is doing right now. I mean, to start the game, they always struggle, and I think if having JB on there would just make things way better to get the offense rolling. And I
Yeah.
feel like Tim Hardaway's really been struggling this past week here. And to have somebody else that could dribble and make plays besides Luca on the floor starting, and him getting open 3 pointers to kind of get the game going, that's just gonna be even more lethal for anybody guarding Hardaway and Brunson. So just I just think it'll be an overall great addition to the starting lineup, especially even for KP. I think KP needs somebody else to look for him besides Luca, because there has been instances where Luca just doesn't look at him. So
Yep.
again, I agree with you. Another great point from you from Mr. Reyes here.
Yeah. So I mean, that was one of the bright spots. I also wanted to talk about Luka Doncic's development. I know I've kind of said that you know, the effort doesn't really look the same, or something just feels off. But and you said this as a negative, but I kind of saw it as positive. The logo 3-point shots, I feel like he's wrapping those up. I like those. There was one where he bailed out the Mavs late shot clock situation, shot up a logo 3-pointer, made it. He's shooting 25% from three, if I'm not mistaken. I have that right here. So yeah, 25% from three. Abysmal, not a good percentage. I do think that's going to even out. I do
Yeah.
think he is going to obviously get better. I don't think he can. He can get worse, but it's going to be really hard to. But yeah, I just feel like there's little stuff he's adding here and there, where you notice that there's different elements to his game that he is just adding, and
Hmm.
that's really something to say to someone who was already a top five player in the NBA and already has so many accolades and already can do so much, that he is just, trying to add this here and there. And also the Nikola Jokic passes. I noticed two times where he got a rebound and he just outletted to a cutting Tim Hardaway Jr. on the other end. And I'm forgetting the other play. It might have been Tim Hardaway as well, but just those long passes to get the offense started. I think those two things are just little positives that I've really enjoyed watching. Just obviously all of Luka Doncic's career, but just watching that just makes me wonder what what really is the ceiling for him. Um, just little new things here and there that he's trying.
Logo Luca. You heard it here.
Exactly.
You heard it here first. Logo
Yeah,
Luca is on the rise, baby.
absolutely.
uh
Well, did you want to say any more positives? I have a few more just depressing stats
oh.
because I love being depressed.
That's what we know as Mavs fans and Cowboy fans. Don't forget that.
Yep.
No, I mean, going back to the San Antonio game, Hardaway did great. I did say he was struggling, but Hardaway did do good versus in the San Antonio game. I really like that combo of JB and Hardaway together. I feel like they don't really play that much together. But having those two that bench playing together was awesome. And he kind of propelled the Mavs to the win as well as along with JB. This is another positive from Tim Hardaway, but no, I think that's that's pretty much it.
All right. So Mavericks are 27th in offensive rating, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. I don't know how they ended up 27th in all those categories, but that's what I got. Strange season, to say the least. Um, 101.8 points per 100 possessions in offensive rating, 30.7 percentage in 3-point shots, and 70.5% on free throws. Um, all bottom dwellers in the league. And just, I think this could be turned into a positive. I don't think they're going to suck this bad on offense for the rest of the way.
No, there's no way.
So this is going to improve, in my opinion, and you're going to see shots start falling more. I do think Reggie Bullock can be a 40% three-point shooter.
Hmm.
I think Luka Doncic evens out and he gets back to at least his career percentage, which is 32%. So three-point shots are going to start falling. I think it's just a matter of time. I, what's going on with the Mavericks? I don't feel like they're taking bad threes. It's just something I don't know. Just maybe to start the season, they're gonna have a little slump here. But yeah, just 8 games played. Like we mentioned, 5-3 at the beginning, but just something to look for in terms of the Mavericks offense, which they shoot the sixth most three pointers a game at 40.4. So this is a big part of their offense, obviously for the whole league. I think, teams that are successful at the three ball are generally going to win more, but at least in the regular season. So that's something to look to. Um, Luka Doncic is shooting less than 70% at three free throw percentage. That's something as well. Like I mentioned before, he's attempting less free throws, which I don't like. I do like where he can attack the basket and just create more opportunities. But just just some notes that I wanted to point out.
Yeah, I think that, like you said, the offense will come around. Uh, there's just there's just too many good shooters on this team where the 3 point percentage doesn't go up.
Yeah,
I just feel like the shots they've been getting have been good. They haven't been knocking them down. Like
yeah,
I mentioned earlier, Dorian Finney-Smith hasn't been knocking them down. Uh, Hardaway. I feel like sometimes Hardaway, he's wide open, he just doesn't knock him down. And I think the whole team is kind of struggling on offense, and that goes back to what we said earlier: is the cohesiveness and the the roles are not defined yet. I think, and that's just gonna come with time. I think. Um, and with all those stats you said, I mean, they're still third in the West, which is which is kind of crazy. I mean, it's still early, obviously,
yep.
but there's no way it gets worse. I just think with the offensive mind Kid has, and I just think if you have someone like Luca on your team, your offense is gonna be good all the time because you're just gonna get so many wide open shots. And as far as the free throws, that's Luca. I mean, he's always kind of been iffy on free throws. But is it something to do with the rule change? Do you think the rule change of the off the offensive player can't go for the contact?
Yeah.
Do you think is that kind of
I
an
don't
issue?
think so. I think Luca got that maybe if that once a game,
Yeah.
where he got that call.
Mhm.
I may be off, but I don't know. I don't feel like it was a big part of his game, where not like Trey Young's. But no, I just feel like he's not driving
He's not
to
driving.
the
Yeah.
rim anymore. I don't know. At least less than last season.
Yeah. From the eye test, I don't know the
Mm.
stats, but he it just looks like he's not. Like you said, I feel like he's shooting more 3 pointers and shooting that mid range more. And maybe it's because he's just tired of being abused all the time, and he doesn't want to get texts anymore. I don't know, but
That's
that's where
actually
he's
true as well. Yeah.
that's where he's most effective. I want him to go in, but um,
He's attempting actually less threes than seasons prior, um, which is strange. I thought he was attempting more. I also wanted to mention, as I'm bashing Willie Cauley Stein, he is in every single top lineup for the Mavericks.
uh oh,
He is in the best 5-man lineup. He's in the best 4-man lineup. He is in the second best 3rd-man lineup, 3-man lineup. He's in the best 2-man lineup with Luka Doncic. um, so I don't know. I guess I don't know
advanced
what it is he
analytics.
does that. Um, like we said, it's just the pick and roll. I don't know what else it is that he does that makes them so successful.
Well,
when
let
he's
me
on the floor.
let me say this: is I'd rather have Willie Cauley-Stein start than Dwight Powell. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, we could try that too. Based on the numbers, it looks like that would benefit us more.
Yeah,
So we could def that as well.
yeah.
Well, do you have anything else before we log off?
One more. One more point. Why does why can't KP get anything that the Boban does?
Oh,
You
how did I
know,
go this whole pod without without talking about KP?
we somehow did.
Um, I feel I feel like he is I don't want to say I shouldn't say that. I feel like he is not on the team to me anymore. uh I don't know. I've mentioned that too, and we've mentioned that before. When Boban goes in, the whole offense runs through Boban.
Why?
And
Why? Tell me why. I mean, it
and,
worked
and
versus
when
San Antonio.
when when KP is in the game, it just looks like he is a decoy out there. And I don't know why defenses still respect KP's three. He's shooting like 20%, and they should not fear his three
Don't
anymore.
tell him that, man. Don't tell him that. Come on. We're
I
we're
just
we're
I'm
top 3 in the West. Come on.
I'm just baffled as to why they keep respecting him. Again, another idealism or another like I
It's
guess
name value. It's all name value.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like he's a unicorn. Like
Yeah.
we got to go out and defend his three, and you really don't. You don't have to. Just like when people go for Dwight Powell's pump fake. I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't, the offense just when they dump it down to KP, I don't feel confident like I do even with Boban. So why is it that with Boban I feel like like we're gonna get a bucket here at least. He's gonna pin his man down and he's gonna get an easy layup or one of his little fadeaway one-handed shot
Yeah.
uh push shot. And I feel more confident in Boban's post than KP's, and that's embarrassing to say. KP makes like 30 million more dollars a year, and it's just it's strange how far we've come with KP, or how low we've gotten to to say it better. Uh, I feel like I'm done with him as well. I'm tired of the crap. The every so often there's an injury, or he says something dumb in the media,
Yeah.
or he says something that just is kind of bashing, the team or Luca. Or I understand, sometimes coaches are at or are not helpful to your game, or it's just I don't know. It's just I feel like I'm done with KP, and I get it. Injuries are not his fault, but we have to look at it as an organization, as a team that needs to win a championship. And can we win a championship with KP? I don't know. At this point, I don't know.
Yeah. That's a big question, right? Is when is the front office gonna quit or gonna keep going with the KP experiment? And I feel like I'm not smart enough to know that. I mean, to know the answer to that.
I'm not either. I what I really wanted and what I believed was truly going to happen last season was that he was going to be a top 10 player. And I'll keep mentioning this throughout my whole sports journalism career. I really thought he was going to be a top 10 player. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But at this point, like, look how I feel now. I'm done with him. Like, it's just that's how sour things have turned, that I don't even want him on the roster anymore. Um, but yeah, it's that, and I hope I'm wrong now. Obviously, I hope he turns it around and then we have a superstar. But we haven't seen it consistently. It's just we haven't seen it for more than a stretch of 10 games. So I just don't know how all of a sudden he turns around. Um, I feel like the Mavericks should sell while they still can and still get, whatever little value they can from a trade for him. But I feel like at some point there's going to be no value at all. And even right now it's very little if they get anything for him.
Yeah, I mean, I would say just get as much freaking role players as you can and build through that way. But
Yep. And
like
it
you
hurts to
said,
say.
there's a ticking time bomb in this situation here. But that's all. That's all I had to. My last thoughts were why does everything go through Boban whenever he's in and whenever KP's in? I feel like nothing happens. Like there's no change in the tides or whatever. It's just
Yeah.
you know.
Like honestly would and keep in mind we're paying him $30 million a year. If KP played any of these games, would the result have been different?
No, maybe I don't know. There's just even thinking about it is just bad. Like
Yeah, like
that
even
you pay
if I have to think about it,
you pay this
it's
guy $30 million a
yeah,
year, and you're saying that he doesn't affect the team, like versus like a high quality opponent like Denver or Miami. You know,
I would say Jalen Brunson not playing, definitely we lose all the games
no, that's
right now.
a good point. Yeah,
So
I.
that you see how it's different. Like for
What
KP
about Hardaway? Even
Hardaway,
Hardaway.
I don't know. He's had on and off, and he's always been like that. But and more recently, he's had more consistent games. But yeah, that Hardaway is definitely very valuable. But same thing as KP. Like can we get it somewhere else? Maybe
Mhm.
not. But
Yeah, yeah.
he has some down games. But it just it hurts to say. And I do want to be fair to the front office. I keep saying go all in, and that was an all in move, right, for KP. That
It
definitely
was,
was an
yeah.
all in
I
move.
mean,
Gave up first round picks. A young Dennis Smith Jr. Um, yeah, DeAndre Jordan was trash, so that didn't count.
I
But
mean that was an amazing trade. That was
it
probably
really was.
Donnie Nelson's best trade of his whole career, I think.
The
Besides
future,
Dirk,
the,
obviously, but
the future was bright at the time, but I think as and even as fans, we have to know when something didn't work. We can't keep living off that high that we got from that trade, or we can't keep thinking that we won that trade even. Honestly, did the Knicks win that trade is something that hurts to say.
I mean they made
uh,
Cassidy's for Randall, right?
yeah, I
I
mean,
mean
even I would love Randall on this team.
uh,
If
Randall
Randall
will
was
be
on this team, yeah,
a huge difference if we had Randall.
exactly, man. If Randall was on this team, you'd be talking about West Finals, honestly, for the Mavericks. So yeah, I mean, the Knicks won that trade right now, and that hurts to say even more. So I wanted to make just one more point. I thought of this as we're talking about this, that we see the Kings as a crappy team, right? Like even last year, we saw them as a crappy team. But look at their starters. Like, which one of their starters would not start on the Mavericks?
uh
Like, they have Halliburton, Harrison Barnes. I think their worst starter is Mo Harkless. But I mean, they have like good quality players, and they would all start on the Mavericks. Like,
yeah, that's true, man.
and we look at the Kings as like a crappy organization. So, what does that say about the Mavericks? Besides Luca, that's just one thing I thought when we're facing the Kings.
You're just making this more depressing, dude. I came here to have a good time with you, talk some Mavs basketball. The Mavs are third in the West. My God, 5-3.
I'll stop. I'm just being silly.
I know. Uh, I came out that way too. So I'm not I'm not complaining.
Look, the Mavericks face the Celtics, the Pelicans, the Bulls, the Spurs again. We faced San Antonio like 3 times in 2 weeks, and then the Nuggets. If we can come out of these games, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's just do the first four. If we can come out 3-1 in those four games, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
We can be 3-1 versus Boston, New Orleans, Chicago, and San Antonio. I'll calm down a little bit.
These are games that they should win. The
Yep.
Bulls, maybe the Bulls games can be very tough. They got
True. That yes.
the Bulls
I
are gonna be
forgot they're
tough.
much improved. DeMar DeRozan is averaging 27 a game.
God, he
He
dude,
is like top.
Give me
Yeah,
DeMar DeRozan on this team, please.
exactly. Yep. We
But
should have traded KP for DeRozan.
I don't think I don't think many people will get mad about that trade. But
Yeah.
um, but yeah, the Bulls, man, the Bulls are gonna be tough. But like you said, 3-1, that'd be the best outlook for this stretch, for that stretch, and I think things will calm down even more. And maybe they'll make a bigger push in the standings by then if they get those 3 wins there. So
Yeah. I don't want to sound too depressing. Obviously, I think the 27th in free throw offensive rating and 3-point percentage is going to flip. I think that's going to be top 10 for most of those categories. And I want KP to do well, and of course I want Luka to be happy, and of course we got the Brunson burner. So lots of positives, and I don't mean to be too depressing.
yeah, but that's how it's going. So I think we have a I think I think we're valid in our opinions here. So I just say
Yep.
that.
All right. That's all I had.
Yeah, me too.
Well, thank you for listening, MFFLs. This is the Blue Cavalry, a Dallas Mavericks basketball podcast. Follow the pod on Twitter at the Blue Cavalry. Follow me on Twitter at Andres G Reyes.
And follow me on Twitter at Mr. Danny Reyes. I'm working on starting our YouTube channel. We're gonna start recording every pod we do now. I have been going through some technical difficulties, but now I'm kind of getting the hang of the software here. So look out for those two. At the Blue Cavalry channel. I already have it made. So
Let's go.
YouTube.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. We're in the YouTubes. We're in the realm, baby.
Now, can we get on the TikToks?
You
Can we be talkers?
you need to. I'm gonna put up. I'm gonna compile all the stats you said today and all the stats you said before, and you're gonna have to do TikTok dances to all those math stats. What?
I'm down. We'll probably get more like laughs than or people ridiculing me. But any publicity is good publicity.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I'm down.
And it'll be all towards you and not the Mavericks. So you're a martyr. You'll be a martyr.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you for listening. Love you, Bobby.
Love you, Bobby. Bye bye.